Computer security threat prevention. Malicious code is unwanted files or programs that can cause harm to a computer or compromise data stored on a computer. Every time we use our computers to connect to the internet or networks, they can be compromised and used for malicious purposes by cybercriminals or hackers. Computer security and threat prevention is essential for individuals and organizations. This session, we will explore ways to protect yourself from unwanted and potentially harmful files or programs by following cybersecurity best practices. Learning objectives. After complete this session, you should be able to understand the best practices of how to protect your computer and data from malware. Understand how computer viruses attack through email. There are some best practices and recommendations for protecting your computer from cyber threats. For example, install and update antivirus and anti-spyware software. Because attackers are constantly creating new viruses and other forms of malicious code, it is important to keep your antivirus and anti-spyware software up to date. So, this software can recognize new malware, new virus, new spyware, and then can protect your computer against them. Installing antivirus software from a reputable vendor is an important step in preventing and detecting infections. Install and update personal firewall software. A personal firewall prevents unauthorized connections to and from your computer. It can also prevent some types of infection by blocking malicious traffic before it enters your computer. So, make sure that your firewall is configured to update automatically. Enable automatic updates of your operating system. Installing software patches on your computer is one of the best practices recommended because attackers do not take advantage of known vulnerabilities. Consider enabling automatic updates when available. Operating systems such as Microsoft Windows and Mac OS regularly update their operating system to correct security flaws. These corrections are known as patches or fixes. When you enable the automatic installation of the fixes, you reduce the chance of being exposed to security threats. Usually supported operating systems. It's important to update your operating system to one that is supported by the vendor. All operating systems are no longer supported by the vendors and therefore are particularly vulnerable to attacks. For example, Microsoft has announced the end of support for Windows XP on the 8th April 2014. After this date, Microsoft will no longer provide support and security patch for Windows XP. It is very important that customers and partners migrate to a modern operating system such as Windows 10. Update your web browser and enable its security functions. Web browsers are regularly updated to fix security flaws. It is important to update your web browser to the latest version. Your web browser security functions can usually be found in one of the drop-down menu items. Most browsers provide advice on each of the security settings and explain the advantage and disadvantage of enabling or disabling functions and high and low security settings. Block pop-up advertisements. Pop-up blockers disable windows that could potentially contain malicious code. Most browsers have a free feature that can be enabled to block up advertisements. Good password policy. Passwords are a common form of authentication and are often the only barrier between you and your personal information. There are several programs that attackers can use to help guess or crack passwords. But if you choose good passwords and keep them confidential, you can make it more difficult for an unauthorized person to access your information. A strong password is at least 8 characters in length consisting of uppercase and lowercase alphabets, numbers, and symbols. If you believe your computer is infected, change your passwords. This includes any password for websites that may have been cached in your web browser. Enable a limited rights account for each user. Using an account with limited permission is a good security practice. Many malwares depend on the livelihood that users are running as administrators, also known as privileged users by default. Do not log into a computer with administrator rights unless you need to perform specific tasks. Running your computer as an administrator leaves your computer vulnerable to security risks and exploits. Simply visiting an unfamiliar internet site with these high privilege accounts can cause extreme damage to your computer, such as reformatting your hard drive, deleting all files, and creating a new user account with administrative access. If you do become infected, restricted permissions keep the malicious code from spreading and escalating to an administrative account. Operating as a limited user greatly reduces the effectiveness of many types of malware. However, it doesn't mean that limited users are protected from malware completely. Use caution with links and attachments. Take appropriate precautions when using email and web browsers to reduce the risk of an infection. An email virus consists of malicious code that is distributed in email message, and it can be activated when a user clicks on a link in an email message, opens an email attachment, or interacts in some other way with the infected email message. Many malware authors rely on links and email attachments to install virus, worm, and Trojan horse on computers. Even if the sender is friend, relative, or colleagues, it is best to exercise caution before opening any email attachment or following links received in emails, on social networking sites, or by instant messenger. The sender's computer could have been compromised by some malware, and it is being used to spread malware to all the contacts saved in the sender's address book. Have you ever encountered these problems or questions? Why do I receive notice that email from me could not be delivered because I didn't send the email? Or did someone else send an email that looked like it was from me? Why do such emails seem to be from someone who is not in my organization? This is usually caused by a virus on someone else's computer sending the emails, but making it look like the emails are from you. Or to put it another way, a virus that spoofs the from address. The important thing to note is that the virus is probably not on your computer. It is on someone else. So, even if you have quality antivirus software that keeps your computer clean, there is someone else out there whose computer is infected and sending this email out. This is the example of how virus spoof the from address in emails. You have effective antivirus software, so your computer is clean. You send an email to Fred. Now, your email address is in Fred's address book in his email software. Fred doesn't have effective antivirus software, and his computer has a virus. The virus on Fred's computer scans his address book for all of the email addresses on it. The virus sends email to every address on Fred's address book. The virus emails do not say they are from Fred. The virus picks up another address from Fred's address book and puts it in the from field in the outgoing email. The virus may combine the name from one address and the domain from another, creating a from address that doesn't exist. These emails are received by other computers, which detects the virus because they have good antivirus software and reject the email. When the receiving computer rejects the virus email, it sends an undeliverable notification to the sender, but the notification goes to the spoofed email from address, not to Fred. It could be sent to you, You have completed the learning of computer security threats prevention. You are required to go to your reading assignments, post your idea as well as exchange opinion with your classmates in the discussion board. Thank you.